Welcome back to Brashonomics. You know, we cover real estate a lot, and we were just getting into, at the top of the hour, we're talking about contracts, and of course, real estate does come with very big contracts. But one thing that people don't always realize is a lot of real estate agents will drive you around in their car for hours and hours, days, weekends, nights, and any other time you might need to. And you don't really have any contractual obligation to do anything with them. Lisa Hampton joins us along with Christy Penner, lead buyer specialist with Homehelper Consultants. And, well, first of all, welcome, guys. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You know, you just mentioned like this whole contract thing. I mean, you guys deal with contracts all day long.
All day.
$500,000 contracts, $1 million. I mean, they're big real estate contracts. People buying their home. What are some of the things people really need to think about with these contracts? Because they're kind of serious.
I think people definitely need to read them. I'm amazed how many people just start signing their name on things. And as you guys were talking earlier, I remember when I bought my car, I was just like, what do I need to sign? I don't care. I don't want to read it. And realize a lot of people do that with home purchases as well. And we're talking $500,000, $1 million. So read through them and hopefully get a copy before you have to write a contract to look through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and is that something that, I mean, I think there's an element of, they're so boilerplate. I mean, they really are. Real estate contracts are, I mean, there's like 10 things to fill in. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's 20. But,
might be 20.
I mean, there's a lot of trust that people put into just, well, it must be right.
I think there's a lot of trust in every contract that people put into that. One of the things, and I love that you brought up contracts, because we work on contracts with our buyers that we work with. And I think that's one of the things you need to know when you're hiring someone. You have to know who they are. How are they going to best represent you? Are they going to help you through that contract? Because it's an obligation, and it's a huge obligation. It's not a $10,000 car or a $5,000 credit card. This is huge. And I know you deal with it all the time with mortgages, but if you default on a mortgage, it's significantly more than if you default on a credit card. But I think we enter into contracts with our buyers so they know what to expect from us and let them know that they're hiring one of the best.
So do you tend to think, I guess, so you get a contract beforehand so that you guys have a joint obligation to work with each other. Then what's kind of that next step? I mean, you're talking about the system or the process by which they're going to sign on with you to go through. And then what are some of the big things that people need to think about when as that next step once you guys have committed to working with each other?
Well, I think even before we've committed to working with each other and then throughout the process, people really need to think about, are they ready to buy right now? Is purchasing at this time going to be the best thing? Because a lot of agents will put somebody in their car and not even know when they want to buy. And it doesn't benefit anybody to do that, especially with the way things are moving so quickly right now. And so that's one of the first things to think about. And then in respect to that, what type of sale is going to be right for them? If you're looking at a traditional sale, that's something that's going to go very smoothly. If you're looking at a short sale, that's incredibly emotional, and we've talked about that on this show before. So it's just, those are some of the first things they need to think about. And who are they hiring? Are they hiring one of the best?
And what are they getting out of us? Like, what service are we providing to them? And with our team, we have, Lisa, who specializes in the contracts, and I go out and do the showings. And, I mean, we try and talk about everything up front at the table with them before they sign the contract. Exactly what each one of us are going to do and provide to them.
So what does that look like? Because most people maybe are used to working with one real estate agent. Mm-hmm. And so when you start differentiating the roles, I mean, what does that look like?
Well, you get both of us.
Who are speechless right now. Really one of the most important things that I do is help negotiate the contracts and really walk the buyers through the process after they've written a contract so that they're confident that they know exactly what's going on. Our goal is complete transparency for them. Christy, though, is the master at finding houses.
Yeah, and I just try to make sure that I think of any questions, have them write a list, pros and cons, exactly what they're looking for, what areas, so that we're not wasting their time and they're not wasting our time. Like, we want them, if they really want to buy a house, we want to try and narrow it down and make it as easy as possible for them. And so every house we go into, we try and point out the pros and cons.
And is that something that's easy to do? I mean, are people blinded sometimes by the house rather than what the quality or the lipstick on a pig? I guess people look at the lipstick.
I think people just get shocked at what's out there for the price. This is all I'm getting. There has to be something else out there for $400,000, and I know I think people get shocked the first time they go out and see.
Well, and I think there's a lot of houses out there too where they do really quick. There's a lot of people who are flipping right now still, and investors. So they're pretty. And once you really get into them and start looking, you'll notice the floor is sloped just a little bit, or the paint job just isn't quite right. And that's one of the things Christy does when she's out with buyers, is point those things out. Like, hey, it looks very pretty, but maybe you want to notice that every single one of the cabinets is crooked. Something might be wrong with the foundation if it's leaning.
So there's big things to really point out to make sure it's not just the contract, but you're buying the right house, not just buying it right.
Well, yeah, our biggest fear is that somebody's going to move into a house and about a month later they're going to call me and say, hey, we bought a lemon. We want to return it. And our goal is to give the best service and work off of referrals.
What happens if somebody does want to return it? What do you do?
Tell them they're contractually obligated.
What happens? Somebody's like, look, this isn't working out. Right? That's a big, I would imagine it's happened. What do you do?
It actually isn't something that we faced. And that's just because doing all of the upfront work.
And being so open and honest. I'm the most blunt person when I go show houses. I point out every little flaw that I can find. And then we try and, refer the best inspectors and really, I don't know, we sit down with the clients and really make sure they're making the right choice.
And so there's
a lot of money.
You're kind of putting a lot of work up front so that they don't find that, find that there's downwind from a, garbage dump or something like that.
We're also putting a lot of work on them. We let them know what we're going to do, but they also have to do some work as far as researching the neighborhood, because we don't know, regardless of how much they tell us, there's a lot that they don't say. And so we make sure that they know they have to do the work to really understand what they're looking for.
So we're here with Lisa Hampton and Christy Penner of Homehelper Consultants, guys. So when you try to help somebody understand what they're looking for, there's obviously there's big ones, right? There's big things like, well, we're going to need a yard because we got 4 dogs. We need a couple bedrooms because we're going to keep our kids and they're going to continue to live with us. What are some of the things that people maybe overlook? You said people don't always say everything. What are some of those things that maybe they don't bring up?
Well, I know you're in houses with people all the time.
The must-haves. I think people think, of course, bedrooms, yard, location. I think people overlook busy roads, the school districts. Is it going to be a long-term house? Are they planning to have a family there? Is this a place they can live for 10 years? Are they going to outgrow it? Layout of the house. Are they really going to be able to live there? Like after 2 months of being in it, is it going to drive them nuts? So just, lots of different things. I think people get overwhelmed by, it has everything on our checklist as far as the bedrooms and the yard, but then it's like, look at the big picture here. Is this exactly what you want to move into? Does it have all your needs?
And how do you help people determine if it does meet their needs?
I just really like to walk through homes and ask them lots of questions while we're in the house and point things out. I think it's hard once they just walk in and you're trying to talk about it when you're driving to the next house in the car. They kind of forget what's there. So if you kind of walk around and you kind of make them visualize them living there, I think then it starts to bring up questions in their head. So it's just stirring up conversation.
Like there's a very narrow hallway, and Johnny likes to play with trains, so there's not going to be a lot of room to maneuver around the trains. That's how it happens in my house. We have big hallways, and I still step on Thomas just about every morning.
Oh, no.
I think one of the other things, just really quick, that people need to think about is a lot of people walk into a house and they're like, well, we can paint the walls, we can put trim up here, we can add a huge fence. Really, think about what you're going to do. Like when you move into the house, are you really going to do all of those things? If you're not, maybe it's not the right house.
Well, and there's a financial piece to that too. I mean, it can cost a lot of money to just, you say we're just going to put up a fence. Well, fences are expensive.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
And they think they'll just go build it. I'll build a fence. They did it. They did it in all the books, in the old books, right? They just send the kid out to build a fence.
Always.
I think. Am I thinking isn't that like Tom Sawyer? I just go build fences all over the place.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, with chicken wire maybe nowadays. It's tough to build. Anyways, I've never built a fence. I imagine it's hard though. So I guess there's a big piece, it's understanding not only the house that you want, but maybe how you're going to make it your own and what the costs are in that. Mm-hmm. Maybe what being able to understand and visualize what those things even are without having them there. I mean, there's no fence. You can't see it.
Well, are you really like an HTGV? Are you going to really go do it yourself and go to Home Depot and be that kind of weekend project warrior? I don't know.
Yeah, something definitely to think about. I recommend not. I think there's more fun things to do on the weekend. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. We do have to go to break. Lisa Hampton and Christy Penner with Homehelper Consultants. When we come back, man, are we lucky. Kevin Britt is going to join us. And, you know, when you're talking about contracts, it's good to have an attorney in the house. We'll be right back after this break.